Happy Monday, everyone. It's Coach Lois with Healthy and Wealthy and Wise. I have a really exciting week for you. I think this is going to be profound and maybe answer some questions, clear up some clutter for some of you, maybe many of you. I haven't actually talked about this a lot. There's times where I've talked about Age of Aquarius. There's times where I have said the words 5D, 3D, Ascension. Today, I thought I'd actually just come out and just talk about it openly because my guest on Friday, March 17th is an amazing psychic channel and she works with Ascension symptoms. And so I thought I would prepare you and share a little bit about what these Ascension symptoms are, and also say that if you have been experiencing any of these that I talk about today, and I'm going to talk about them tomorrow. It's a 2-part episode back to back because there's so many to talk about. There's so many to unpack. And no, you're not going crazy. Even though I won't lie, I thought there were times where I was probably going to end up in a hospital or somewhere because I literally thought I was going insane. And since mental illness, technically runs in my family, I have lots of reasons to be considering, like, is this really happening for me? So I know there's a lot of people. I talk to so many, and not everybody wants to talk about that elephant in the room. As we are evolving as a planet, okay, I'm going to give it two different kinds of labels, and then we're going to dive into these symptoms in case you're like going, something's not right with me. I can't figure it out. These physical, mental, emotional type symptoms that you may have been experiencing. You're not alone. So that's the other thing I wanted to bring up and talk about this openly, is so that you don't feel like you're alone. Okay. You are so not alone. And if any of this resonates with you, please email me, lois@loiscoffee.com. Or like I said, tune in to tomorrow's second episode, part 2 on Ascension symptoms. And then Friday, I have an amazing guest that's going to hopefully help give you some clarity and maybe some inspiration. And of course, if you want to hit the share button, sharing is caring. This is a very near and dear topic that I feel like is the elephant in the room that most people don't want to talk about. Because most of us as humans, we don't want to be seen as weak. We don't want to be seen as less than. We don't also want to be feeling weird or outcasted, even though, heck, let's face it, we're all weird. We're all unique. We're all different. And that's actually the most exciting part about all of these Ascension symptoms. It's a sign of the times, as Prince would say, one of my favorite Prince songs, sign of the times. Everyone's going to be feeling them, whether they want to or not. Everyone's going to be feeling with them without even doing anything. Just simply living and breathing on this planet right now, you're going to be feeling. And there's I think there's 26 symptoms that I'm going to be talking about that your medical doctors probably would maybe diagnose you with something. And again, I'm not saying I'm a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm just wanting to bring awareness. And I personally have experienced all of these 26 symptoms in the past 12 months. Okay. So what's happening, the 2 labels that I'm going to give this is one is 5D Ascension. We're actually shifting as a planet into a whole nother dimensional shift. So I'm not going to go into all of that, but it's happening. It's true. You can talk to scientists, astrologers. You can talk to a lot of different people about this, but we are shifting and evolving as a planet into a whole nother world. Some people call it New Earth. Some people call it Bliss Gaia. There's all these different terminologies, but I'm just going to call it 5D Ascension. We're heading from the 3rd dimension into the 5th dimension. Then there's the Age of Aquarius, where I believe they're actually not mutually exclusive. I feel like the Age of Aquarius, we're shifting into a new zodiac sign again as a planet. And we're wanting to shine our light. We're wanting to have meaningful ways to make an income. We're wanting to truly love ourselves and heal the wounds of the past so we can rewrite the story of our ancestors. We can rewrite our story from maybe this lifetime, right? Maybe you haven't been feeling fulfilled in this lifetime, in your career, in your marriage. A lot of partnerships are breaking up. A lot of people are breaking off marriage proposals, business partners are breaking up. And again, the good or bad, the meaning that you give it is whatever that is for you. I'm here to say all of that is neutral. All of that is healthy. All of that is normal and to be expected because we are evolving as humans. We are going through the shift. That's another term that I've heard it called before. And so I'm came out of the spiritual closet this past year because so much of this was happening for me, my husband, and a lot of my close friends. And I'm tired of keeping quiet about it because it literally could make or break your health. It could make or break your sanity. Mental, physical, and spiritual health is really, really important to me. And it really could actually impact a lot of things besides your relationships, your money, your finances, and your career, to know that this is happening for all of us. All of us. So here are the top 13 of 26 symptoms. You can maybe write them down or rewatch this a couple of times. And if you know of anybody that may be struggling with any of these, share this episode with them. Okay. So as we're evolving into this 5D realm, as we're ascending into this shift into the age of Aquarius, you could feel intense pressure cooker energy and stress. That stress and that intense, you feel like you might want to explode. Okay. Now the hope is that as you go through these symptoms, I'm going to give you some quick tips and advice at the end, because this is a lot. I'm not going to lie. What I'm sharing with you is a lot to take in. So number one, again, intense pressure cooker energy, stress internally, feeling disoriented, maybe losing your balance, feeling like lost in time and space, maybe feeling possibly even a little floaty at times, unusual aches and pains. I'm going to add on to that even certain unexpected health challenges that maybe a doctor can't figure out. Last year, I had 30 days of diarrhea, guys. I'm not lying. TMI, I know, but that was unusual. That was very unusual. And no, nothing was wrong with me. I went to all the doctors, my acupuncturist, my chiropractor. I had all the supplements. I actually spent a lot of money that month that I didn't need to spend. Turns out it was Ascension symptoms. So I'm here to tell you, if you're having some sudden health issue, hopefully that gives you some I don't know, some peace, some hope that you're not like gonna die, because I had that feeling. Waking up at night between 2 and 4 a.m. for no reason, just you're awake, and it's not your norm. Number 5 is memory loss. I've had that more and more, kind of like a short-term memory loss. I know there's a lot of people with long COVID, and that can be a symptom, but I'm here to tell you it could be that, or it could be an Ascension symptom. You might feel like you're seeing or hearing voices, or seeing or hearing things. Again, you've heard my husband's story. He's a ghost whisperer now. There's all these different psychic gifts. Healers are becoming more powerful, or people are becoming healers when they didn't think they were. Again, it's because of these energies that are shifting and recoding you and allowing you to have these new gifts, these abilities, clairsentience, clairvoyance. There's all sorts of different abilities that are coming. So that could be part of the seeing or hearing things. Loss of identity. You know, maybe you've had a certain label about yourself, your career. I had that. I had a massive ego dissolving death, rebirth, resurrection. So you feel different. You just don't know how to be in this world. That's loss of identity. Feeling out of body. This is probably the one that I've had the least on my list. My husband's had it a ton. Where you feel like you're disconnected from your body, and there could be lots of different things. I'm not even necessarily talking astral projection, just feeling out of body. Number 9, periods of deep sleep. Oh my gosh, I've definitely had that one. Periods of deep sleep where you were just like dead to the world. There's different thoughts about that and what's happening during that time. I'm not going to go into all of that right now. Number 10, heightened sensitivities to noises and crowds. Hello, that's me. I went to the grocery store yesterday and went out to eat with my family. I felt it. I felt the energies and the intensities of the noises and the crowds. Normally, years ago, I loved crowds. I had no problem with these kinds of things, but right now, not so much. Number 11, and this is a big one for me, which was, I was really hard on myself until I learned that this was an Ascension symptom, because I was such a doer. Number 11, you don't feel like doing anything. You don't feel like doing anything. If you're just joining us, we're going over the top 13 out of 26 Ascension symptoms. I'm going to cover part 2 tomorrow. So going back to what I was saying, number 11, you don't feel like doing anything. And it's not even about being lazy. It's just like you don't feel like doing anything. And that's happened for me, still happening for me actually quite often. Number 12, intolerance for low level or low vibrational things. Like maybe a few years ago, you would have been okay with small talk, talking about the weather, just talking for the sake of talking. But now you don't have time for that. Anything that's kind of like considered lower vibrational, doesn't light you up, doesn't call to you, doesn't get you excited, which is a higher vibrational, that's an Ascension symptom. Intolerance for those lower vibrational things that don't serve you, right? I know I've quit different clubs and organizations, and if I wasn't feeling it, I moved on. That was me. That is still me. I'm still weighing all the different options out in my life. Number 13, last one for today, is a loss or desire for certain foods. I, by nature, was definitely more into meats in general. Now I switched more to vegetables and even fruits. So, and that's not for, I'm not even wanting to be vegetarian. I'm not even wanting to be vegan. None of that. It's just I've lost a desire for certain foods. And so hopefully you can listen to this again and check off and see how many of these symptoms that you are feeling, and knowing that you're not going crazy, you're not going insane. And if you have any questions, any support, email me. That if you want to ask me a little bit more, I can share more in private than I maybe can also even on this podcast. But if any of those symptoms resonate with you, please email me. And it's also why I started my Healthy and Wealthy and Wise subscription, because you got to have tools. That's what I'm going to close with today. You got to have tools to support you. Good nutrition, breath work, yoga, anything that you can do to really raise your vibration and cleanse and clear and even hold yourself through some of these symptoms, because some of them can be fairly harsh and traumatic. Tomorrow we'll talk about dreams and nightmares and stuff like that. So some of them can be really, really, really intense and heavy in your body. And how are you going to move through that? It's really, really important. And Friday, my guest, Caitlin, is going to be on my show, and we're going to be talking about how she helps people work and move through Ascension symptoms. So I hope you found value in this today. Tune in tomorrow. I'll be doing another impromptu monologue about the balance of these 26. So today we did 13. Tomorrow we're going to do another 13. I still look forward to supporting you. Until next time, here's to your best health, your best wealth, and your best wisdom as you work through this exciting and yet scary ascension time. And know you're not going crazy. It's all part of the shift. We can't run, we can't hide. However, we can move through. And I hope you have support along the way. And if not, I hope I may be that person